What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike. If you have not seen any of my videos, we're going to be speaking on some life tips. Well, not really some life tips, but more so some spiritual guidance, some wisdom quotes, some things like that. I have some things on the piece of paper already prepped for you guys. So I just want you guys to listen in carefully as I recite these, and also as I begin to also, after reciting what's on the paper, to give you guys some insights, some examples, and things like that. So just let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and let's begin. Right. So the first one we have for you guys, for the collective, for the people that's searching to be a better person, just for the collective, it's for anybody. Right. Spend time taking care of yourself. Right. Self-care time is one of the most important things I probably learned as an adult. You need to spend time if you want to do your hair, if you want to put lotion on your body, if you just want to, because when you look good, or not even say when you look good, but when you put the time into yourself as a person, right? Whether self-care, good hygiene, all of these different things, you're gonna feel a lot better throughout your day, right? Make sure you got lotion on, make sure that you're well hydrated as well. This also comes from nutrition as well, but mostly I want to speak on that time in the morning, that time before you head out that door. No matter what it is you do, you could be an entrepreneur, somebody works a job, somebody works in a company, a millionaire, a billionaire, somebody that's just starting off, somebody that's fresh out of high school. You could be. It don't matter who you are or what you do, but you gotta spend some time taking care of yourself. Next one we have is your soul is yearning for spaces, systems, relationships, and ways of living that create an optimal environment for your freedom. Right? We have. Okay, so look, we're now in a time where we realize that time is very important. Right? We are now in a state where you have the internet, you have people that, like myself and others, because I learned from people on the internet as well, that can reach people without even having to be without having to be anywhere close to you, right? So we're now understanding what freedom really means, right? And it's a way of living. It's a way of living. It's something that we're now starting to take more appreciation for. Every time we get a little bit of freedom. And this is going to enhance a lot of your relationships, a lot of your partnerships, a lot of, just the way that you think, just the way that you live, right? So what I want you guys to do is look at your life and ask yourself, if you have free time, you had the option to switch it around, would you do that? So I really want you guys to really understand freedom. When you guys have that free time, is what you're doing in the day, can it improve? Can you switch it up a little bit? Because I talk about this a lot of times, because I feel like people's in this mindset today that everybody's chasing these dollars, right? And that's cool, right? But then the lifestyle as well. Like they don't really chase money. They chase life. The reason why people want money is so that they can buy things, which is nothing wrong with that. But when they do that, a lot of them spend so much time and so much of their free time and the freedom into working for this lifestyle that they're like, yo, I gotta work for this lifestyle, and then all these years they're putting into to this lifestyle, which they don't even. It's like they're not even happy, because then they're just spending time doing something that they don't necessarily want to do. If that makes sense to you guys, right? What I want you guys to do is ask yourself, look. Would I be okay with having less, not saying less resources, because you can always maximize your accounts in different forms of ways, right? There's many different streaming accounts, there's many different ways to make income, right? But ask yourself, what would you do if you have freedom, right? And this is just go over this with yourself. It's a form of manifestation. Go over with yourself every morning or every day or whatever the case is, and just ask yourself, what would I do if I had X amount of freedom? What would I do if I had X amount of hours in my day? And what that does is, once you start to realize, okay, this is what I would do, this is something that I'm really into, you will start thinking of new ways that you can actually transition out of where you're at right now. I know I dragged that. I was just trying to figure out what I was trying to say, but you're gonna start to figure out new ways that you can come out of that systematic way that you've been in right now, or that you want to leave, into new ways, because it's going to motivate you, right? You're going to think about it more. It's going to become more and more possible. Most times when we think about things every day, it becomes more and more possible to achieve, right? Believe it or not. We have growth. Next one we have is growth cannot come from stagnation, right? If you're in place and you're staying still, you're not going to grow nowhere, right? Growth does take some failure. It does take time. One thing for sure, everything takes time, right? So as long as you apply that time to it, it's an hour, 30 minutes out of your day to anything that you're trying, any goal that you're trying to achieve. As long as you apply that time, you know that it's going to pay off, because it's like me, right? If I sit here and I decide, okay, I'm going to read a book, I'm putting 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, or whatever into reading, and I know it's benefiting me, right? There's no way that you doing something, you're gonna get worse at it the longer you do it. It just doesn't work that way. You might not be as good as you was at your peak, but you're not gonna get worse than when you first started. It just doesn't work that way. So you're not gonna grow unless you start to make some moves, right? You can't stay in the same position and expect them to grow. Number 4, we have acknowledge, thank, and celebrate all the blessings that you have and will receive. Right? Being grateful is one of the key points that allows the gift to keep on giving. Allows our higher power, whoever you deem as your higher power, to keep on giving. Because it's like a kid. If you got a child and you ask this child to save, you say, look, save $1. Save that dollar. And they don't save that dollar. You really think you're going to keep giving? No, because you want to show them the principles of just understanding what that dollar holds value, right? Because to them it might not hold any value, but to you it does, because you work for it. So when the higher power gives you things and blessings, and you guys got a comfortable bed to sleep in, you might not have the best situation that you want. You're working towards it currently, right? But it's important that we always show grace and gratitude to the things that we have, right? Number 5, we have spend time in nature. I always like to go to the beach, to the park, anywhere where there's a lot of green and grassy areas, because you got to remember, we come from that stuff. We come from building huts and everything in nature, so it's like that is where we're most connected to, right? So spend time in nature, guys. Get out there and really experience things that man cannot create. I mean, they're trying to make fake plants and fake trees and stuff, but even the inventor has to show appreciation to what the higher power created. And whether you believe in higher power or not, you have to admire that is something that you just can't go outside and create. You have to, if there are people that's recreating plants and stuff, they have a whole team. This is still something that we can appreciate, so get out there and appreciate that nature. We have invest in yourself and others with values like yours, right? So I like to do this thing where, let's say we go in a store or something like that, and if I feel like the owner has those qualifications, I'll let them know, and I don't mind supporting stores that the owner has great characteristics, somebody where I feel like, oh, I can relate to that. Most times when you go in a store, if you feel that good energy, you probably somebody that likes to have a good heart. So if you're somebody that likes to have a good heart and you see other people that's doing it, you relate to them. You feel that vibe, you feel that energy. You can, you guys can coexist in one area. You guys can actually be friends and things like that. So that's typically how it goes. I like to, support, people like that have that great energy, because I know I bring that great energy, so I expect it in return. Or at least I hope for it to be in return. I can't say expect it, but you know what I mean. But yeah, invest in yourself and others with values like yours, right? This goes for relationships as well, right? Make sure that you guys are not out there look, let me tell you something. For all the people that, if you want a certain individual, you gotta just be mindful of where you're looking for that certain individual, right? It's just how it goes, right? We have leave a positive legacy that benefits the life you want for yourself and others, right? Leave a positive legacy that befits, so that showcases the life you want for yourself and others, right? So I've been listening to these wisdom quotes during breakfast and stuff. Well, not during breakfast, but while I'm cleaning up after breakfast and stuff, try to just knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, or multitask, or whatever you guys look at it, right? So I try to knock out 2 tasks at one time. So I'm listening to some wisdom quotes, and something along this line, they mentioned that if there's no God, they say that, then no. What the quote goes something like this. I'm not sure word for word, but basically it's if you live righteously, if you live your life righteously, and there are no gods, then you would just no. Hold on. I got it. If you live your life righteously and the gods that you worship are you know, are righteous or something like that, or are pretty much good people, then they will judge you as such on how you lived your life. If you lived your life in a righteous way and the gods are unjust, that's what the word is, unjust, then you don't want to serve them anyway, right? And if you lived your life righteously and there was no God, then you would have just vanished, but you would still be able to. I'm trying to get it. You would still be able to. Sometimes these words, you would still, okay, you can at least say you lived your life peacefully, right? You can still say that you lived. Hopefully you guys get what I'm saying. Okay, let me run it back, right? So leave a positive legacy that befits the life you want for yourself and others, right? So it's quote. I'm gonna run it back because I'm trying to get it fit, right? So when you're leaving a positive legacy, right? I'm not even gonna recite that quote. I ain't gonna lie. I was trying to get it, but you guys get my point. The point is to make sure you guys are living in a decent manner. So it doesn't matter on who you serve, right? At least when you pass over, which you will, you can leave a great legacy behind that you can be proud of and others will be proud of as well. Y'all see, man, I'm trying to recite it. Anyway, a good deed attracts support, right? Believe it or not, a lot of people that are positive people typically are the happiest people, you know, because when you're positive or you go out in the world, you're not always gonna have positive people in your life. Some people are gonna try to test you. That is the form of, I mean, you can call it what you want, but I like to look at it as the devil, the dark energy, right? I go out there in the world looking for great energy, or sorry, not looking for great energy, but providing great energy, and I'll probably get some negative energy back. I remember one time I was working in a supermarket, and I used to say good afternoon, good morning, and everything to people. This one guy had an attitude with me, I don't know what for, but sometimes people just have that, you know, they just come in with that energy because they might have had a bad day. So I'm no judgment here, you know, because I don't know his situation. But that's just how it is. Sometimes the energy might switch up. But it's important that you recognize that, look, you gotta keep giving that good. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep giving that positivity because that's what you want to attract. You give off what you want to attract. We have see, believe, and celebrate your goodness, right? So if you're a good person, appreciate that, celebrate it, and you know, just appreciate who you are as a person. Assert yourself in a loving way. State your point without raising your voice, right? You don't have to be like, okay, you should be able to control your emotions. Even as a man, you should be able to control your emotions. I know a lot of toxic masculinity. When I say toxic masculinity, I'm not talking about like stand-up guys. Like, there's a lot of stand-up men that know how to control their emotions. And I'm talking about toxic as in like beating on a girl or feeling like they gotta force most stand-up men, like actual men or actual stand-up females, don't feel like they gotta force anything on anything. No argument. They don't feel like they gotta put their hands on you. They just let it be. Like, they can have a calm and collective conversation, and that's what everybody should be working towards. Whenever you're in an argument with somebody or anything like that, or a disagreement, you should better just have a conversation. We're not always gonna do it. Understand? As long as you don't, once we start to recognize where we're trying to go in life, we start to catch ourselves in a lot of different ways, right? You know, you start to recognize, oh, let me maybe not say that. You start to think about it. And that's what I try to get people to use on this channel. I try to get them to use their heads a lot. So you're thinking about it before you, because once you do it, you can't take it back, right? So you're thinking about it before you even speak, before you even move, before your muscles even twitch. It's just all of that. And I'm trying to just motivate you guys to do that, right? We have, there is no reward of value in fighting amongst your kin. Recognize the true enemy, stay focused, and strategize. I love this one because it's like, we get distracted a lot of the times. And I say we because it's a collective read, me included. We get distracted a lot of times where we start bickering with our close partner or our close relative and things like that. And we don't even realize the enemy is probably ourselves the most. They say the ego is the biggest enemy, right? So once we understand that none of this other stuff really matters, and none of this, like, like I said, going back and forth ain't gonna bring you no reward, ain't gonna give you no chocolate. I mean, it might give you a chocolate cake, I don't know, right? But a lot of times it ain't really gonna do much for you, right? So we want to move on from that. We want to focus on our biggest goal. Why are we gonna spend 30 minutes arguing about something that we don't disagree on? If we come to this agreement that we disagree on it and that is final, then let's just move on and let's go do something else. I spoke on this on last video. I'd rather watch. I wouldn't even really prefer to watch TV. But let's say I just watch TV. I'd rather watch TV or watch a YouTube video and spend my time doing absolutely nothing with my personal life than sit up here and raise my blood pressure or raise my tensions for something that we are already agreed to disagree on. You know, so it's just we're just gotta look beyond it. Like look at things that you're doing and ask yourself, 10 years down the line, are you gonna care about it? You know, so I just think it's like that, right? And last we have, which I forgot I even wrote this on the paper. Ego overpowers actions and repels people from connecting in a meaningful way. This is like a conversation you and your lovers having. You know, if you guys are feeling like you're always right, sometimes we gotta admit, like sometimes it's not about man admitting. You know, like me, I have a thing where I would like be like, nah, you feel me, like, and then afterwards I'll think about it. Like sometimes it's hard for things to hit me right away, but I'm trying, and I understand where I have my flaws at, and I recognize there's details about myself, so I'm able to work on them. If you don't sit down and start to acknowledge yourself and start to do a lot of self-reflecting and see where you can improve on, you're not gonna think it's a problem. You're just gonna live life, and you know, and then you're gonna see that once you start reflecting on who you are as a person and the improvements that you can make in your life, you will see things start to improve around you, because your actions are going to change. The way you talk to people are going to change. Before I send a message these days, I reread it, I analyze it, I see if, look, is it coming off, you know what I'm saying? But in order for that to happen, I would have to be on the backside, on the back burner, as they say, behind the scenes, reading, educating myself, self-reflecting, doing a lot of that, right? It's not necessarily, I don't really meditate as much, like, but I do, you know, just sometimes I just stand in the mirror and just self-reflect and just think about my past situations and how I'm developing, and then try to think of future events as well, right? Or future where I want to be at. But the ego is one of the biggest killers of the humanity. Like that's something where you're like, I know it all, I can't know nothing. And the thing is, they say the wisest man knows that he knows nothing. You know, a lot of things that we think we know, it's all taught to us anyway, or it's read in a book and stuff like that. But really, though, the secret to life is just to breathe and enjoy happiness. You know, there's really no special thing, but it's good that we do, you know, tap in and, you know, get educated, because at least you can make a lot more wiser choices, right? But as far as like the ego, just try to cut that loose, right? That's gonna finish up the reading or the messages, I should say, for the collective. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I really do appreciate you guys viewing this video. I try to prep it for you guys, because I don't want to waste any of you guys' time, as time is the most valuable thing. It's something that cannot be reciprocated. So I will see you guys soon. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Michael, I have not mentioned in this video. And I will see you guys real soon. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys real soon on the next spiritual video. Stay tuned.